The only story I've got is, which I think is worth telling, is like, bearing in mind, of course, that we toured with her a lot in the very early days. Quite recently, Florence of Florence and the Machine hid behind a pillar to avoid talking to us. And it gets better. We were playing a private, this is the only time we've ever played a private show, so don't think this is what we do often, but randomly we were playing a private show in the British Virgin Islands, and we were on our way home, and the whole party that we play was very mysterious. No one would tell us really like who else was playing or that kind of thing until the last minute. We found out Florence was going to play on the third day of the party. It's only for like 80 people. Anyway, we're on our way home, or at least we're sat in this like beachside shack drinking Coronas, waiting for our flight. You just walk to the tiny airport, like across the tarmac. And I was like, oh, I bet we'll see Florence's lot turn up. And there was and sure enough, we saw this, like, because you have to get a boat from there to the place, the island or whatever where we were staying. And sure enough, this car shows up, and we see Florence and her like PA, I guess, get out, and they're kind of just stood, and someone's clearly saying to them, you know, the boat will be here in like 1 minute or whatever. And this bar was like, it's like the middle of nowhere. Like there's no one around. It's just me and the band and a couple of our crew sat, and there's no one even else in this bar. It's like a tiki shack, and we're probably only about 20 meters away. And I just waved and was like, all right, Florence. And she did, you know, there's that like Homer Simpson meme where he like walks backwards into the bush. Like she literally did that and like hid behind a pillar. And do you know what? We had been joking before, because we're so self-deprecating. We'd been like, she'll probably just like blank us anyway. Like she probably won't even bother, you know. And we were like joking about that. And she literally did that. And then and then she got on her boat and went. And then like half an hour later, the rest of her band, who are clearly on a, you know, not on a private jet or whatever she'd flown on, they show up. And I wave, and they're like, way, like they come and see us. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing here? And all this kind of thing. And we just had a beer with them and had a chat. And me and the harp player, Tom, were texting each other. And I was like, you're going to like this resort when you get there. I mean, it's amazing. And I texted Tom a bit later. I was like, anyway, we were on our way. We were in transit in somewhere in America by that point. I was like, have a good time. I hope the party's good for you guys. They were a nice crowd for us. But yes, just thought I should say that, you know, Florence hid behind a pillar when we tried to say hello to her, and he was like, oh God, I hope she's not in one of her moods then, or something like that. And then later on, we get this email from the kind of like liaison person who had been looking after us there, who was like, I have a message from Florence to White Lies that says, you know, she was absolutely mortified to discover that it was you waving at her. She had no idea that it was you. And I was just like, mate, we were like 15 meters away, like, and it was the fact that her gut reaction was just hide, and, you know, she's so sorry and all this kind of thing. And I was just like, you know, and then actually Tom, the harp player, texted me later and was like, you know, I do actually think Florence feels quite bad about that. And I was like, well, the damage is done, and I'm definitely at some point going to be talking about that in an interview. So here we are right now. And, you know, these people got to learn their lessons. If, like, just be nice to everyone. And if it had been a table of fans, who cares? It's like 5 people in the middle of nowhere. Just go and say hello. Take a fucking photo. Like, don't hide behind a pillar. So there we go. That's my celeb story.
Excellent. Yeah, because I read that you performed live there at one point.
We did. She sung Unfinished Business with us for like 5 nights in a row at Brixton, and like all this, you know. So funny, but hey, you know, big time now, so very funny.